Hi again. It's me. Hi guys. So I posted this video a little bit ago, but for some reason the news was playing over me. So I don't know what happened, and then well, it's funny, I got a couple emails and people telling me that they couldn't hear me and the news was playing, and so I was like, "Oh crap." So I went and I played the video and I didn't hear it. It was weird. I played through the whole thing and then I re-uploaded it again, and then I was like, well, I'm just going to go check it. And so I went to my channel and played the video and I heard the news playing on it again. I was like, oh my God. Okay. So I'm just going to do this video again. Anyways, I'm just showing you guys how to make this little cover with the pockets. Sorry, I had a Bilbo moment, or Gollum moment. Anyway, so yeah, so these little pockets, these little covers with the fabric and the pockets and stuff. Super easy, and I'm sure if you had one of these, you guys you could figure out how to do it. But anyway, so basically you just want to make it the size that those are. You want a piece of fabric approximately 9 by 9 inches. Something a little bit thicker than this might be good. I don't know. So you can kind of see, because you can sort of see the color of the file folder coming through. Like if you were to use just put your fabric over it and see if it shifts the color of your fabric. If you don't like if you have a piece of fabric that you really want to use and you don't want the color to shift, if it does, then I would suggest adding a second very thin piece of fabric under it. Maybe like try 2 layers or something. But anyways, this doesn't bother me because really it just kind of brightens the fabric a little bit. You know what I mean? Anyway, so just using regular old cheapo file folders, actually really inexpensive ones, like not high quality. So they come in different weights, so these are like the cheapest you can get, and so they're not exactly the best for using as covers. I prefer the green hanging file folder ones because they're a little bit heavier duty. But anyways, these are basically just cardstock. So anyway, so my idea was that I just wanted to use as much of this as I could. So I didn't have a lot of scraps that I wouldn't use later. Anyway, so grab a file folder, grab a piece of fabric, grab a glue stick, and some scissors. I prefer to use the pinking shears when I trim the fabric off. You might want a bone folder and a paper trimmer. And a sewing machine, if you have one, is nice. I do use a sewing machine. I stitch around the edges. So if you don't have a sewing machine, you can just glue it. I would maybe use fabric glue though, if you're going to do that, if you're not going to sew it. Okay, so with your file folder closed, you want to trim this to 8 inches. Okay, and that cuts off all of this part where it's curved and stuff. So if you were really trying to not waste any of it, you could totally make these little pieces into little tabs in your journal, or little tickets or something like that. Okay, and then I'm going to go the lengthwise also at 8 inches. And I'm cutting off the very last of that little curved part right there. I'm cutting off that end, which also helps me get rid of that. Okay, so now everything is square. So that's it for the paper trimmer. And then you want to open this up, and being careful not to crease it too soon, you want to fold this in almost to the center, but maybe like an 1/8 of an inch shy of the center. Use your bone folder and burnish that down. And then do the same thing on the other side. Just maybe, you know, yeah, about maybe 1/8 of an inch from the center. You don't want to fold it all the way to the center because you want to still be able to close this up easily, you know. If you had those going all the way into the center, you would have a hard time closing your journal, you know, easily, smoothly. Okay, and then, so we've got this now. So you want to fold those in, lay it down, grab your fabric and your glue stick. This is the Amazon Basics glue stick. It's an all-purpose glue stick. I had somebody ask me if the Amazon purple one is good, and to be honest, I think it would be fine to use for collage or, you know, paper collage and things like that. I haven't tried it. I've used the Elmer's school glue before, but and it was okay, you know. It's not as sticky, you know what I mean? Like it's school glue, so it's water soluble, and you know, so if it gets wet, it's going to start peeling up or anything or whatever. This is also water soluble glue, so I'm not a glue expert or anything, but I will say that I've never had anything lift using this, and it's consistent. It's very consistent, more consistent than the Blick glue sticks that I was using. As far as the like the texture of the glue, some of the Blick glue sticks were really soft, and I didn't like that. They were just too goopy. So anyway, and then you want to grab your fabric, lay it down, and then just kind of holding the edges up, you want to smooth it out so there's no wrinkles. Don't want any wrinkles. Kind of just really squish it down on there good. Okay. And then if you're making, you know, 2 dozen of these, you want to set these aside and let them dry. I'm not making 2 dozen today, so I'm just going to trim it right now. Being extra careful not to cut through my cover, the paper, you know. Anyway, yeah, that was so weird. I don't know how that happened. I did have the news on another playing, like on another tab. So that must be how it recorded that. But what's really weird is that I changed the microphone source back to the webcam, so it wasn't using the microphone on the computer or my laptop. I don't know. Anyway, sorry about that, guys. Okay, so that's glued down nicely. Now I'm going to stitch around this, even though the glue is not completely dry. And I'm going to do it on a zigzag, kind of a wide zigzag. So you want to open this up because you don't want to stitch these down. So you open it. Okay. And then I'm just going to sew all the way around the border of the fabric. I had another one of these made, I could have already had it stitched for you, right? But I just made 24 of these. I didn't want to make any more. Whoa, did you see that lint just fell out of my sewing machine? There's a big piece of lint. Paper lint. Anyway, I'll have to dig that out with a tool or something. So these newer sewing machines, you don't oil them. You don't need to oil them. And they're basically made to be like maintenance free, you know, not totally. Basically, they want you to take them in and have them serviced. And so they're not really the easiest. It's not really the easiest situation to get into it and clean it out. But yeah, look at that. It's weird. It just dropped right out. Yeah, I do need to clean this one out. I don't think I'm going to do a video showing you how to clean out your sewing machine because, to be honest, it's not pretty when I do it. And I don't do it very often, I hate to admit. Anyway, I have glue on here. Okay, so now we've got the fabric glued on and then stitched all the way around. And then what you want to do then is you want to, well, this is what I wanted to do. I want to cover this part of the cover, even though you really won't see it that much, but you will see it a little bit. So I'm just going to take a piece of book page and hold on. It doesn't matter if you cover it all the way to the very bottom because that part is going to get covered with this, but you will see parts of the back once we make the pockets. So I like to cover it just because I think it looks better, you know. And then, you know, you could use some kind of like decorative paper too, like maybe a piece of scrapbook paper or something like that, you know. Maybe some kind of floral print or whatever, or you could even just paint it, or you don't have to even add the paper. Just you know, if you don't mind just seeing the manila folder through the pocket, you know what I'm saying? And if you don't know what I'm saying, you'll know what I'm saying in a second. I put that the opposite way. Okay. So I just like to have it covered because when I add my notches, it also, every layer that you add, every layer of paper and glue is adding strength to the cover, you know. It's making it slightly thicker and a little bit more heavy duty, you know. So I don't mind adding an extra layer of something to add strength. So, okay. God, I'm just a wreck. This is the second time I've done this today. So anyway, okay, see, and then you also will see it on the center, you know. Okay, and then I want to cover these sides with something. So let's just use a different book page. I do want to be able to see the print. So I'm just going to trim this right along. Look at how wide the margins are on these pages. I love it. Okay. So I'm going to glue this one on here. I don't want to get more glue on the inside there. Making a pot roast today in my new slow cooker, and it smells so good. Anyway, so I'm pushing this right up to the very edge of the file folder. Okay, it's easier to do that if you close it, you know, so that this fabric, so that fabric's not in the way. You know what I'm saying? Okay. So I'm going to close it to apply this glue and then open it up to do the rest of it. You could totally just do like some really nice collaging or that kind of thing on here too. Whoops. Yeah, no, that's right side up. Instead of just, you know, plain book paper, but we're keeping it simple. Okay. Wipe this glue off. Only reason I have this cutting mat out is just because of the lighting. Makes it less glary. So I still want to do a video for you guys making some like fabric clusters and stuff, and I was thinking to make those Carla makes these really cool, I think I might have done it on a video before, but those really cool rolled fabric roses. I don't know. Let me know if I've already done that, somebody. And if not, I will do that, and I will do the fabric clusters too. So you know what? Sometimes I save these because they're useful. You know, like for covering the backs of tags and stuff. Anyway, okay. So now I've got those all trimmed up. And then I want to figure out where to put, like, kind of split this to make it into pockets. So basically, I'm just going to cut this from here right up to the edge. Okay, so this is going to be a pocket, and this will be a pocket. And then I'm just going to cut a very thin little wedge out like that. Just kind of pull it off. And then I'm going to cut another little wedge off of the top. Okay, just really thin little wedges. Okay, and then the other side, you can put your pockets wherever you want. Like, they don't have to be the same on both sides, you know. Just make sure that when you cut your little wedge that you cut it out of the top of the piece that is going to become the pocket and not off of the bottom of the other pocket. You know what I mean? And I'm only saying that because I did that and I was really mad at myself on one of the journals I was making. Okay. I don't think I need this anymore. All right, and then I'm gonna just do, where's my other thingy-mabob? I don't know. Oh, there it is. Okay, so I'm just gonna do a little notch. If you want to try to line these up, you can. I don't usually bother. Okay. And then I'm going to cut these little corners off of my notches because those squared edges kind of bug me. I hope this video is okay. I will preview it this time, even though I did go back and listen to it, and then I re-uploaded that other one and it was still there. That's so weird. I don't know how that happened. Go figure. I don't know. And then I thought my TV was broken a couple days ago and I was all bummed out. So I turned it off and was going to return it to Best Buy, but then they said I had to call the manufacturer and blah, blah, blah. Anyway, so I was kind of mad, and then, so I just turned it off, and then I was going to like deal with it today, so we called the manufacturer, and they wanted us to do some troubleshooting first. So I turned the TV on, and it was working perfect. So I was like, oh, okay. Anyway. That used to happen with my old sewing machine. It would start acting crazy and doing weird stuff, and I'd get super mad and I'd just put it away in the closet, and then a couple months later I'd pull it out again, like, okay, now I have the patience to deal with it, and it would be working perfect, like I didn't even do anything to it. So we used to say that that was the Poco Pico mites that fixed it. Anyway, something my grandma used to say, I think. Okay, so now we've got our 4 little pockets, and you could even make 3 pockets on each side or whatever. You know, you could make any size you want. And then I'm just going to take, this is art glitter glue in here. I just have it in this little tube, this little bottle. It's just easier for me to control this for some reason. Okay. So just those 2 edges, glue those down. Now you could just glue these. You don't have to stitch them. If you trust your glue, you know, you do whatever you want. But I'm just using a pretty small amount of glue. And then I'm going to stitch them also. I'm gluing and stitching just to be doubly sure. Okay, now I would wait for the glue to dry if I were you, but I'm not, so I'm gonna stitch it anyways. So basically, I'm gonna go across here, up here, down here, and across there. That's my path on a straight stitch this time. Okay. Kind of a long straight stitch. I swear, if the news is playing in the background this time, oh, so I want to make sure that I catch the very edge of the pockets. That's the whole point, right? And I do have a white bobbin thread in, so on the other side of the cover, which is the front of the cover, is white. So you're not going to really see this stitching that much on the front. Okay, and then I'm just going to go across the very bottom of these other pockets. Okay, just right across the real thin. Okay, so that's it. Whoops. Okay, so we've got a little journal cover so you can just barely see the line going across. Pocket here, pocket here, pocket here, pocket here. There's no need to stitch along this edge as far as, you know, holding the pocket down because it's already attached. So, but yeah, I think that would be cool actually to do, you know, maybe even 3 pockets, just different sizes. You know, you could do as many as you want. Anyway, and then as far as doing like a closure on these, I stitched just a little piece of seam binding onto the cover with a zigzag, you know, super sturdy. And then I did do an eyelet so I could attach a charm, and I just went on the very corner of the pocket. So it takes up a little bit of space in the pocket, but not much. You can still, you know, get stuff in and out of there. This is narrow enough that if you want to, you could even just, oh, I should trim that. It's not so wide that you couldn't just stitch on the sewing machine if you wanted to stitch your pages in, you know, or you could add an eyelet, 2 eyelets at the top and 2 at the bottom, and some elastic, you know, go down, up, and then tie your pieces together, put 2 strips of elastic in, and do this like a, you know, traveler's notebook kind of style. Or you could just bind it like a regular, you know, like a pamphlet stitch. That's what I did. So, okay. So that's my simple, easy file folder cover. Okay. And in case you're wondering, I do still have, I think there's like 6 of these left in my shop, 6 or 8. And maybe, I think there's a few other little mini journals from the last few months of the monthly minis that are still there. So, and thank you everybody who has already purchased one of these. I really do appreciate it. This is my only source of income, so it's you know, it's really, really awesome that I have you guys out there, and I don't know what I would do without you. I really don't, especially right now. It's touch and go, just saying. You know what I mean? Like, who wants to be, I don't think I could even get a job if I went out trying to find a job right now. So, okay. All right. I love you guys, and thank you. Bye for now.